How we doing?
Hey Ryan, yeah, I'm well, thanks, man. Yourself?
I'm doing great. I feel like
Awesome.
I'm doing like Russian roulette of interviews right now. So I'm sorry I'm a little late.
Well, Russian roulette can be, obviously a bit of a dangerous game with some pretty heavy consequences, but it's also probably safer than good old chat roulette.
Yes. Well, I don't know. It might not be as fun.
Well,
Yeah.
at least you got a higher percentage of the person that you're going to go online and have a chat with is wearing clothes, I suppose.
Fair. That's fair.
Would it make you more comfortable if I took my shirt off?
No, you can keep it on. We're good. We're good here.
Yeah, I think the entire world's going to be much better off if I stay as clothed as possible.
That's
The
funny.
beard can only hide so much.
It is a great beard though.
I appreciate it. I grew it myself.
I can see that.
So the reason why we're having a chat today is because you play in a band called State Champs, and
Yep.
that band State Champs is about to come and tour Australia,
Yes, sir.
and you're going to be coming with some old friends, some longtime acquaintances, neck deep.
Yeah. Honestly, really looking forward to it. Feels kind of full circle. I was explaining this earlier, but this 11 year anniversary of the first time that we ever came to Australia together. So should be really fun. Looking forward to it.
All right, awesome. So yeah, you were here a good decade or so ago. Was that on a run of shows, or were you a part of like a festival package on that one?
Yeah, that was us and Neck Deep. I'm pretty sure they were headlining. I think because they had been to Australia before. That was our first time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 11 years later, I mean, the rooms have gotten bigger. We've grown as people and as a band in our career. And it's cool to say that we're still like just as close, if not closer, as friends with those
Mm-hmm.
guys. So yeah, being able to experience kind of the same thing, but 10 years later is really fun and should prove to be a good time.
So was that the first time you and Neck Deep met up, or had you played shows and connected prior to that?
Yeah, I'm trying to even think about how we met. I'm pretty sure we met on Warp Tour that year. So, we spent pretty much the entire summer together and I think really got to know each other and become friends. We were playing the same stage. And then, yeah, we just started touring together. So we did Australia. And then in 2016, we did a world tour together. So we came back to Australia. So this will be the third time that we've been to Australia with Neck Deep. I hope it's not too tired yet, but it's been a long time since it's happened. So
Yeah, well, don't really want to mess with a good thing either. Like if it
exactly.
works, it works.
Yeah.
The tour this time around is mostly going to be based around Neck Deep's new album. They've released a self-titled album early last year. I think it was in January.
Mhm.
The tour itself's got a rather interesting name, the Dumbstruck Dumbfuck Tour.
Yep. Yeah. So you kind of know what to expect, I guess. Couple dump bucks coming down under.
Yeah, it's like who do you know which way that's directed? Yeah, are you the dumbstruck dumbfucks, or is it what the people who come and witness the show are going to be or become after having witnessed it?
I think it's a bit of both. Absolutely.
It's a double-edged sword. Shit cuts both ways.
Exactly. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and I gotta imagine the people that are coming to see us don't either. So
Not going on that the high art end of the pop punk spectrum.
I don't even know if that exists. I don't know if there's any high. I don't. If there's a high art pop punk band, I've yet to see them.
State champs, the thinking man's pop punk.
Yeah, definitely not. Respectfully, we know who we are, which I'm okay with that.
All right, so we're not going to expect any, mid-set philosophy lessons.
You might get some from Ben. Ben from Neck Deep, he's known to go off and kind of give a rant or two here and there, but I can promise you, you're not going to get one from Derek. I don't think he even has it in him, respectfully. So
or come out with a pre-prepared statement. Just give me a second while I unfold this.
Yeah, a nice long scroll.
Who the fuck is DeCon? Why is he saying this shit? But back to yeah, the self-titled album that Neck Deep released earlier last year. You yourselves then went and released an album late last year that is also self-titled. So was it a case of, that's not a self-titled album, this is a self-titled album?
Nah, I mean, it just kind of that's just kind of the way the cookie crumbled, I guess. We wrote the record, and as we were listening to it, it just felt like such a perfect kind of encapsulated, I guess, I don't know. Over the past 10 years, I guess it kind of feels like that's what everything is built up to. And I feel like when we were listening to the record, it felt like there were just different pieces of every era sprinkled in there, and it kind of just made sense to stamp the self-titled on it because I I don't know. I guess like if you're a new fan and you're listening for the first time, this is who we are. And if you're a fan and you've been with us throughout the 10 years, you'll kind of be able to pick out each era of our band throughout the record. And I felt like it was the only name. It was the only like correct title for the record, in my opinion.
Well, maybe you could lean into the thinking man's pop punk that way with relating it to drinking a fine wine and literally getting a little notes of the first EPs that you released. It's got a bit of back end flavor of that third album.
Exactly. I mean, it was cool because, we would reference some things like, oh, what did we like? What did we like about this first record? Okay, well, we liked, some of these fast parts, and we don't really super do the, certain drum beats anymore, certain, like very fast pop punk, I guess, general things anymore. But some of the fans that we still have like love those things, and I love those things as a listener, but we don't find ourselves doing it anymore. And we were just like, well, why not? Why can't we? And so we were like revisiting some of our old records and even referencing ourselves, just saying like, well, I really like this pre-chorus from this song. Like, let's try to do, our version of it 10 years later in this song. And I think, yeah, we were just like cherry picking all the things that we really love about what we'd done in the past and kind of applying them to some of the new songwriting tips and experiences that we've had and all the knowledge that we've gained over the last 10 years of being songwriters and of being people and just kind of trying to build from there. And I think it really worked out in our favor. I think you can kind of see the expertise in what we do. And like I said, we really know ourselves. So it wasn't us trying to, um, you know, make a huge statement or try to like reinvent the wheel, but it was just how do we be state champs but better? How do we build on that? How do we be like the best version of state champs? And for us, I think that was a lot of behind the scenes, kind of repairing some relationships, because being in a band for 10 years with your brothers, it's hard to maintain those relationships, especially when people's priorities and lives change. And so I think so for behind the scenes, having those conversations, working out those kinks, and then the music can be, a reflection of that. I think it was really about being excited about what we're doing again and just putting our best foot forward. So I think you can hear the excitement and the fun and the joy of our music again in this record because I think that's what we were all searching for.
Yeah, and if I swing it back to the wine analogy before, as long as it gives you that state champ mouthfeel, then you know
Yeah,
you're onto a good drop.
exactly. Yeah, like we know what we're good at. We know what we do. And we're never gonna stray too far from that. We're gonna try to do a few different things here and there, throw in a different couple different flavors and notes, if you will, of I don't know, things that we found along the way. But yeah, we're always gonna be state champs and we're aging like a fine wine, I think.
Well, I watched the film clip for, way to blank out for a second, Silver Cloud.
Mm.
And as you said, yeah, that the fun and the joy that you guys bring together as a band is definitely on display in that film clip. How was the creation of that one for you? How'd that all come about, the concept, etc.?
Yeah, that was fun. I mean, I this record was a lot of trying to not take ourselves too seriously. So I was like, let's jump back and do some fun, non-serious, kind of music videos to aid to those songs. And so my wife and I kind of wrote the concept for that one. Just, we'll sit up at night and just watch old 90s movies or 90s music videos and kind of reference like some of those silly, stupid things that like make us laugh for no reason. And I was just like, let's make a music video like that. Why not? Like, so yeah, we wrote the concept and we flew out to the middle of nowhere in Ohio and just kind of filmed a fun music video on a cheap budget. And we gathered a bunch of our friends and just we were like, let's have some fun. And it kind of felt like I was in college again, like trying to make like a school project. That's really what it felt like because I didn't know what I was doing. I was like kind of co-directing it a little bit, kind of being the creative director behind it. And I was just like, listen, I know what I like. I don't really have the technical skills to get it done, but like we're gonna figure it out. And I think I don't know, it's very playful and it's very youthful. And I think that's kind of what we're trying to say. Like State Champs is not trying to be anything that it's not.
Does Derek actually sleep in his hat, or is that just for the film clip?
That's uh that's I cannot confirm or deny. I
Is sleeping in your hat a thing? If you really want that hat hair look.
You're gonna have to ask him. Yeah, exactly. Maybe he wakes up in the morning. He's like, I just really like this. This is the way I shape my hair in the morning. I don't know. Some people sleep in socks. Some people sleep in hats.
Hey, look, it's human beings. We do some weird and wonderful things. Yeah, you just
Exactly.
gotta no freak shaming, I suppose.
Exactly.
I also saw that you were going to be playing the return of the Vans Warped tour, which you mentioned Vans Warped earlier in the interview. I guess it goes without saying that you're going to be excited about that.
Yes, very much so. I think, obviously Vans Warped Tour has been like such a pillar of our success as a band, I guess. We've played the full tour 3 times and I really thought 2018 was the last time that we'd see it. And so the fact that it's back at all is really, really cool. I think the lineup is great. It's not a cross country tour anymore. It's more of, a destination type festival now, but it's still going to be the same old Warped Tour. And I think the same people who were excited about it in the first place are still excited about it. And yeah, should be good. We'll see.
We've had Vans Warp Tour come to Australia a couple of times.
Hmm.
Certainly love to see it come back again as well, if you can get, word into anyone's ear about that. But otherwise, one of the sort of coolest, aside from all the amazing bands and the day itself, but things around the Warp Tour for me has always been that idea, the concept of the band barbecue that happens at the end. Have you got any stories from any band barbecues that you may have been to
I mean,
that you can tell us?
yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a few I can't, but I mean, for us as a super young band, 2014, doing it for the first time, like, I mean, just the idea of rubbing shoulders with some like giants was the coolest thing in the world to me, Everybody's kind of on a level playing field at Warped Tour, So whether you're playing the small stage and your heroes are playing the main stage, everybody's going to the barbecue after, and it just really gives you like a real human opportunity to like approach maybe somebody that you've admired for a long time and have that kind of conversation with them where it doesn't feel like you're being weird or you're a fan or whatever, it kind of just feels like they're your peer. So for me, I think that was huge. As far as experiences go, I remember there was a barbecue where we were hosting a game of Flip Cup like a huge game of Flip Cup, which is a drinking game. I'm sure you know. Yes. And there was a moment where Riff Raff he was on Warp Tour for whatever reason. He came over to the table and basically took it over and started playing with us. And I just remember him being like a riot because at that time, like he was like a larger than life, like he was on TV at the time, and he was on your favorite rappers. He was like featuring on your favorite rappers album. So like he was like a celebrity in our world at that time, whether you like his music or not, or you have your opinions on him or not. Like so him just coming over and playing like, a college drinking game with us was super fun. Um, I mean,
Yeah, that
meeting,
would have been wild.
yeah, it was
I
crazy.
guess for me, Riff Raff is it's a bit of a guilty pleasure. I don't mind the man's work, and he's a living spectacle, really.
That was what's exciting about him to me is I'm a bit of a freak magnet. I like the interesting character. I like getting to know the weirdest person in the room. So when he kind of came over to us, I was like, all right, this guy is like famous for being like a weird, interesting character. I gotta like I gotta talk to him. So getting to know him a little bit in that way was pretty funny. Um, and there's one other one that really sticks out to me is Bad Rabbits, who was like they were a Warped Tour favorite of like every band. I don't know what their presence is like in Australia, but they did a cover set. They played like a set after for all the bands, and they were just playing covers. And I remember they did a Rage Against the Machine cover. Killing, it was either Bulls on Parade. I think it was Bulls on Parade. And I just remember like a huge mosh pit of like all your favorite band members breaking out. And so I was just like, this is fucking hilarious. Like everyone's just trying to stand around, eat their hot dog and hamburger. And then a mosh pit breaks out. And I see, singer from this band, the bass player from this band, that I'm like, what is even happening right now? And of course I had to jump in because it just felt like the right thing to do. But yeah, I mean, the number one thing is just being able to talk to your like favorite band or your heroes just as a normal ass person. It was such a cool experience, and
Yeah,
it
what
really
an
put it in
amazing
perspective.
opportunity on top of
Yeah,
an already amazing opportunity.
exactly. Yeah, for like a personal, like selfish thing, I was just like, I can't believe I'm playing this festival already. And then second, like I'm getting to meet someone on like you know, in a way that you could only dream of. Um, and yeah, I don't know. It was just such a cool summer, such a cool experience.
In any of your trips to Australia thus far, have you had an Australian barbecue?
I don't think I don't even know what an Australian barbecue is, so I can probably confidently say that I haven't, but I have had a kangaroo pie in the Outback once, and that felt extremely Australian.
Yeah, I mean the national animal, so eating one's got to be pretty up there. While you're here, there is a chain of hardware stores, gardening centers slash. I guess you could probably relate them somewhat to a Home Depot. It's called Bunnings, and
Okay.
they've kind of become synonymous with what we'd call a sausage sizzle, which is like the most quintessential part of an Aussie barbecue. It's just like a classic beef sanger or beef snag, I should say, in a sanger, which is a pretty much just a white piece of bread folded up. You could get fancy. You could put some, grilled onions on top, maybe a bit of sauce. If you really want to kick it up a notch, slap yourself on a bit of cheese. So it's not a particularly fancy affair, but yeah, if you find yourself anywhere near a Bunnings, hit the car park, see if you can get yourself a
That sounds
sausage thing.
that sounds great. I love a bit of street meat, so yeah, I'm down.
All right, awesome. So yeah, you might get your opportunity in April when you're here performing with Neck Deep, playing some sick ass shows, and really looking forward to catching you guys when you're out here.
I'll see you then. Can't wait.